Hello and welcome to Kickstarter Talk. My name is Rob Anderson, and today we'll be going through all these wonderful Kickstarters that you can find both on Kickstarter and writtensins.com. This is Kickstarter Talk Week 25. Let's get some Kickstarters to blast off. And these are the Kickstarters you are seeking. We're going to start off with our pick of the week, and some of you might be confused and wondering, why is Tommy still the pick of the week? Tommy's still the pick of the week because it's still our favorite choice. I think that you guys should be backing this, and I think that we watched the video and we might watch it again. But this is a pick of the week also because of the sheer creativity that I find in the project. I really do think it's a very creative project, and I don't think it's gotten the support on social media that it deserves. And as such, I've decided to extend it for the first time to actually have something carry over into the next week. I hope you guys appreciate that. And because it's the Kickstarter of the week, we're going to take a quick look at the video from it so you guys can understand why I chose it.
Hi guys, my name is Juan Navarro and I'm the co-creator of Tommy by Creature Entertainment. We're here at Tattoos and Comics in Hialeah, Florida, and we're trying to bring to you guys all 3 issues of Tommy and help us get on the road and get to San Diego Comic-Con. I started this book some years ago with John Ayua. It was something that was like a passion project for us. It was something that we just kind of put together, and it just blew up from there. Since then, we've done various different conventions like New York Comic Con, C2E2, Florida SuperCon, and everybody's been well received. I finished the 3rd final issue recently, and we're trying to get it out so that we can get into a large audience, really a world stage, and get it to San Diego Comic Con. One of the things that we're doing with the conventions and with everything is get the word out, but also try to bring to you guys some exclusive content and stuff that hasn't been available before, and bring you something, a story that to us is really dear and something that we really care about. Tommy's about a little boy, and he's not really understood, and he's kind of like, miscreant, kind of crazy, kind of like left to the side, and he has an imaginary friend. But he finds out that his imaginary friend's a serial killer, but not in a bad way. He's trying to like help him, grow up and become a man. We've had a lot of fun with this. We've had a lot of good times and really messed up times with it. And it's crazy how many people have received it so well. So what we're trying to do now is get something that really brings it forward, and for you guys to enjoy it as much as we had in making it. We have a lot of exclusive content for you.
Now, we're going to check back to the exclusive content after we go down the list. I just wanted to give you guys that look at why I thought it was so important to back it, because some people don't watch beyond the video, and this only has 4 days to go, so I wanted to really give you the idea. And speaking of time running out, the Untold is coming into the last of its campaign. Angelica Rain's got a little bit more to go, but your ability to get this exclusive Kickstarter 11 by 7, I think it's 11 by 17, I keep forgetting to ask. I think it's 11 by 17 art. There's cool print either way for backing both of those Kickstarter. That time is running out. So once the Untold is gone, you're not going to be able to get that. Now, there is another crossover that Angelica Rain has with one of her FFC buddies that we'll get to later in the list. But I mean, isn't that a fantastic piece of art? Don't you want to own it? And that's a bonus for backing 2 great projects as it is. So I definitely think it's something that you guys should take seriously and be part of. Support R4AU, the Autistic Jedi, with a patch to show your support. Basically, this is a way to encourage autism awareness. Excuse me. The Untold is the other, the Autism Awareness. This is basically a patch that you can wear with pride, showing people from across the world that you support autism awareness. Autism awareness is important because we also need to understand as a society how to understand what people with autism experience and go through. The Untold 1 and 2 is now available on Kickstarter, but only for a limited time. We're going to tell you how much time you have left when we go over it. This is a 128, I believe it to be another 28-page installment that follows up the first fully funded on Kickstarter book. This is issue number 2. Let's never forget to support our veterans. Our veterans are always important. They come back, and they're often years of their lives are gone, and they're trying to play catch up while the rest of us have been able to go on about our lives, and they're the reason that we can go about our lives, and we don't have the horrific events that some nations suffer to this day. And I'm not talking terrorism, I'm talking even worse than terrorism. It's those troops who both protect us and go abroad and dedicate their life to saving and protecting people. It's our job to protect them when they get home. So check out The Veteran's Wife on Facebook today and see how you can help. Tommy, we just talked about, we'll be talking about more about the Kickstarter goals. It's definitely the thing to back. The threat, can the world be saved? This is an interesting question. We've had Mark on our program twice already for this, and I don't believe anyone's in the chat room today, and that's fine. But this is if, imagine if Apple suddenly owned a city and Nintendo owned a city, and it was very similar to actually, believe it or not, an idea that I had for Dark Justice. So I was very excited to see how he was doing things. Great minds think alike. We're going to be talking more about that. Wendell, #1, Vengeance Works cargo shorts. And this guy is out for vengeance in his apartment complex that he treats like a city. It's definitely a must-have in creativity. Check it out in a minute as we go deeper into it. Every dollar counts. So what does every dollar count mean? It means that every time you back a Kickstarter, you're bringing a world to life potentially. And if you're going to be bringing a world to life with just a single dollar, that shows how powerful a dollar can be, because that dollar also means that you have faith in a project. And don't misunderstand that. Having a faith in a project shows your friends, hey guys, this is something worth backing. It's something that you yourself might have done when you followed actually someone back from what they backed onto their Kickstarter. So don't ever forget that every dollar counts. Sorry, I'm getting some feedback from myself. Sorry about that. My son was on my other phone and had that. This is how I make sure to answer any questions. I keep one running now in the background, one of my older phones. But as I was saying, every dollar counts, and I'm sure one of you guys have backed a Kickstarter based upon what your friends have backed. So keep that in mind and always be part of helping to promote other people, even by, wow, everything's noisy today. Sorry about that. Back everything that you can. Every dollar counts. Every dollar matters. So don't ever forget that $1 can make a difference, and please spare that dollar for something you believe in, even if you can't afford to get one of the rewards. Grande, The Obular's Revenge, Book 3. Grande is now colloque. Okay, this is a lot of, last week I couldn't think of it, and now I can't think of it again. God damn it. It's that famous World of Warcraft. There we go. It's not going to be 2 weeks in a row, thank God. This reminds me of the World of Warcraft stories, but it's very interesting in the story. And there's obviously a lot I'm missing that I'm sure when I get the book I'll be able to read about. I definitely think that the art in this is very, very awesome looking. We're going to go more into that in a minute. Speaking of going more into things, we're going to go more into Angelica Rain's fantastic creative team behind it. Fantastic story. It looks like it's going to be a home run from the FFC Comics, their first in many. This is launching their universe and talking about something that's awesome and coming soon. Coming to Kickstarter just in a few weeks now. We've been talking about it all month. This will be on June 30th. This is Jax the Anderson. It's the world through a creator's son's eyes. Basically, this is the story of my son, Jax, and how going to Comic-Cons and meeting all the cool people he meets, both cosplayers and creators themselves, is going to affect him in an upbringing in a positive manner, and how his imagination might be able to grow more, considering he's going to be around more creative people than most are. That is the idea behind it. We have big, big plans for it. We'll talk about it more as the weeks come. This week, we're not going to talk much about it, because next week we'll probably do a lot about it. So, because next week we'll be so close to it. So that'll be it for now. Remember on June 30th to visit us on Kickstarter and back our project. The Knight has returned to Kickstarter. So The Knight had a fantastic, amazing first issue, which I previewed and did a review on. And then I previewed and did a review on issue #2, which was amazing. This is your opportunity to get on board from a fantastic storyteller. Remember I was talking about social media not being kind? For some reason, I don't see this getting shared a lot. And I really do think that people are missing the bus on this. I think that you guys don't necessarily get the strength of the project in this, because maybe you guys just haven't seen it yet. And sometimes with a newer project, that's part of the problem. And that's why I'm doing this show right here. I'm telling you guys that if you go look at my review and understand, and I want to say this not as a dig to any creator. I don't want to say this as a dig to anyone who submitted comic books to me. But when it comes to reviews, I don't always post all the books that I'm asked to review. And that is because basically some of the books that I'm given aren't ready. And that's the nicest way to put it. And we're just going to leave it at that. And then there are books like this that are ready, but I think that people are afraid that it's something that might not be ready. And I think with indie comics, sometimes the hardest part is when you don't have name recognition, when people don't necessarily know who you are, and when you're a brand new element, a brand new book, it's very hard to back a person. And that's why reviews are very important. And I know I gave it a great review, and I think that that carries weight with some people. And I know that, you know, I talked to the creator. We did Spoken Sins. You can meet the creator. I definitely think about. I think that he was a great guy. Sorry, I'm just telling Bob Sally maybe he wants to come check us out. So we're going to be talking about a Kickstarter he told us about in a minute. But I definitely think that you're not going to go wrong with this book. I think it's creative. I think it tells an awesome story. As a matter of fact, it's one of those stories that you don't see coming, and it's very, very powerful and very layered. And I'm very excited about it. So I definitely think you should do it. Italiano, the graphic novel series. We watched this video. We saw how passionate the creator was. The creator was talking about working on this for over 10 years. How awesome is that? To have that kind of dedication, be working on something for 10 years. We're going to look a little bit more into that. Along with the Year of the Goat, Goat Apocalypse is now up to issue number 7 and comes with action figures if you do it through Kickstarter now. We're going to talk more about that and the fight of the century. No, this has nothing to do with Ian McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. This is an interesting comic book that we're going to talk about just in a few minutes. This is MMA meets Cyberpunk and OGN. Finally, we are asking this year, are you one of us? What does that mean? Are you someone who's tired of the reboot culture, tired of the mainstream bullshit, and want new creative ideas? If you are, subscribe to our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Facebook group and page. Join the over 17,000 supporters, going close to 18,000 as the days move on. You basically are going to be voting for new creativity like you get in Coalition Comics. To want you to turn on the power with their power company. Basically, they've taken different indie creations and brought them all together in this world-altering event. Think of like when Marvel and DC do that big summer project that they always have, that big crossover. This is basically it for indie comics. Something like this is rarely done, and when it is done right, it's an amazing thing, and this looks like it's done right. These are different characters from many different creators. We're hoping to have them on Spoken Sins as soon as we can. We're going to go more into that, of course. Kim Roberts is back with Toothbill, and those who tuned in on the Father's Day special of What's in the Box saw that I got Toothbill 1, and now issue 2 is here just in time, so I can watch that and check it out. Fantastic and funny storytelling from Kim Roberts and her group. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. And just added today, we have Harathi. I've never seen that before. I'm sorry if I'm destroying it. Harath. Maybe the love and redemption through violence and misery. It's a spirited fantasy about a pregnant young teacher who struggles with love, loss, and the intolerance following the worst day of her life. Sounds pretty heavy, but sometimes comics can be great that way. Killer Beez. This is another creation from my friend John Crowther. He's not listed right here. Oh, let's see. Is he? Yeah, there we go. John Crowther. Crowther? I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Suddenly I can't think of it. I'm getting all in my own head. This is about the Killer Beez. If you don't know who the Killer Beez are, shame on you. They were a WWF tag team that is worth checking out, and you can find out who they were by backing this project and becoming a fan now, and then going to the WWE app and downloading and watching all their past wrestling events until you get the book. Cross-stitch your way into horror. This is what I was talking about with Bob Sally. This is the Evil Dead 2, the Book of Thread. This is threading, bringing evil to life. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. Here's the FFC, and Angelica Rain and Guido Martinez's Knight are teaming up. Remember we told you there's going to be another team up? Well, here it is. Angelica Rain, the Knight, all meet together to take on and create this amazing, just simply amazing art that you're only going to get if you back both of them. So if you back both Angelica Rain's and The Night, you're going to get the sorry, for those who missed the Facebook thing, I have a stimulator on my hip to be able to take away some of my pain. At the moment, it's not responding. So I don't know if one of the leads is off. I'll have to look at that in a minute. Sometimes I wear it for too long. I'll play with that when we're watching a video. So, like I was saying, back both of these projects, get this cool art that you're only going to get by backing both Angelica Rain's and by backing The Night. And you're going to do yourself a favor, because both of those are fantastic properties. Both of them are fantastic stories that you're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy, sorry. I've got it to work, and there was a sudden shock in my hip, and it actually hurt. So back to Blister, a rad punk rock comic about growing up in the 90s. I grew up in the 90s. Right there, you got me. I want to see how he tells the 90s, and I want to see if the 90s felt the same way to me as it did to him. And that's the end of our list. So here we go, guys. Let's see the rewards.
Like original artwork from the story, exclusive covers and variant covers for a Kickstarter, including a sketchbook that will show you some behind-the-scenes stuff. Also on the blog, we're going to be having some behind-the-scenes stuff that we've never shown before. And then on top of that, we have access to the new statue model kit that I put together with Daniel Delitsky. We have prints and artwork by not only myself as one of the artists, but Kenny Calderon, Emmanuel Sotomayor, Patrick Riley, and so many other artists that have been part of the Creature team and have worked on this book. We also have a really cool exclusive. You get to come to San Diego Comic-Con with us. We have a ticket for you to come with us and join in the fun. Those are some of the things that we have right now, and it's been really great. And we really thank you guys for taking the time to look at this. If you have any questions, go below. And if you really want to, pledge, and just let me know. Thank you guys so much.
So now, this is one of those things, and we have 4 days to go. We're just going to take a quick scroll down this, and you're going to see exactly what you could be missing out on if you're not backing this. And I mean, there's just a lot of creativity that went into this. And honestly, I think you're missing out if you're not backing this. I think this, like he was saying, this it's not just about having this serial killer imaginary friend. This imaginary friend's also trying to back this kid up who's not having a good go at life. You know, he hasn't gotten the golden ticket. And this rabbit's trying to correct some of the wrong that's in his life. And granted, you know, I think we could all agree maybe it's the wrong way, but he's definitely trying to do something very helpful to the kid in his own way. And the story is very interesting. It's interwoven well. You don't really know, I think, by watching this, what's the right answer, because some of the shit that this kid is implied to have gone through is so fucked up that you almost are rooting for the rabbit to do more. So I definitely think this is something that you want to check out. And like I said, 4 days to go. They need to raise at this point a little over $1,700, but that's doable. I mean, there are guys who launch Kickstarters on day one and get $1,700. So this is how it works, and this is how it's going to work with everything. If you believe in this project and you've already backed it, and you ain't got no more money to back because you've got a wife like me and you don't want to be divorced, you go over here and you hit this share button, right? And then you write something in here. You write something like, I am truly amazed by this comic book and encourage. Anyone know how to spell encourage? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller. I'd encourage everyone to join me. You guys can see how horrible I am at typing. Join me on this journey of creativity. You write something like that, and you make sure it's spelled right. And you see that I have the Grammarly, who I got a huge discount on. So I got the Pro Edition, which is awesome. It really does help me. So if you're looking for something cool to help you with typing, because you're an idiot like me, go for it. And then you can just hit this little thing that says post to Facebook. And now you've told everyone that looks at your Facebook page that you believe in this project. And by doing that, you could encourage this to be successfully funded. Remember, if you want these rewards and you want to be able to see this come to you, it's also your job to get the word out there. You know, if you believe in a project, it's your duty to, when you believe in that project, to at least share it once. I'm not talking about sharing it every day. I get that's not your job. But sharing it just once, that will matter. Angelica Rain. We're going to play just a short bit of this video because I love the music. So we're just going to dig out to the music, and it's only a minute 17. We're going to turn it up. Get ready to rock out. Here. That's awesome. Love the music. Gonna miss it. We have 8 days to go. A little under 800 to raise. It's not going to be hard for you guys. I know you're all awesome. I know you're going to be able to get this funded. Get behind it. The art is fantastic. The storytelling is amazing. I think that you're in for a gigantic reward by backing this, by backing The Night, and by backing Untold. I think they're all fantastic things. And the way that this is merchandised is amazing. You can get a copy of that. SFC. This is going to be something that you can get all this cool art to. You can be drawn in as a main character. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. And what was awesome about there being a ton of stuff like this is that they show how important you fans are and how much they're inviting you fans to be part of this journey. So I do think that that's very, I think it's very cool, you know, like not for nothing. I think that when you show the fans how much they matter, you do things like this. You merchandise the hell out of it and you show the different things. I mean, look at that variant art cover right now. That's going to be from Francesco Tomasoli. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, my friend, but I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I honestly, I'm taken back by how amazing some of the art is that comes out of projects like this. I love the way that the eyes glow on it. You know, I'm a little bit of a fan of art in that regard. So I'm always going to be a huge fan of things that get done like that. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a second. You get to be the Wizard of the World. You get to be Kickstarter rated X exclusive. And then there's even going to be a Angelica Rain's pop figure, which I guess you can make your own pop figures now, which is kind of cool. And then for $350, you get a commission by the art team. And you get to be in it for $500, which I think is a decent amount. I don't know. We're talking about putting someone in for our Kickstarter, and it is an interesting question of what you should or shouldn't charge to have someone added in, because that's a lot of effort on the part of the creative teams. Now we have to draw you in. You have to be taken into it. And more than likely, there's going to be feedback from the people you're inviting to be part of it. And that's kind of weird to have someone, it's kind of weird to have someone come in and be part of it that's living, because you have to deal with a living person a lot differently. And I experienced that with fetish babies. And some of the people that you will see are real people. So, I mean, that's an interesting reward. And it's also hard for the team. So I can't really blame that figure. I think that figure is accurate, because now you're going to be part of a story. And no one can ever take that away from you. We got to talk about my boy Brian. Brian is awesome. Brian Hawkins did American Kingdom. The art we were talking about in this is from Ferretico. I'm sorry, I'm getting that name wrong. Today's not a good day with me and names, and no day is a good name. Day, but today's a little worse. So this is an amazing team. And we had the letters by Brian Fowler. And I mean, look, I mean, this is a fantastic project. It's definitely something you guys should be thinking about backing. So get to it. You got 8 days. The Untold, which has only got 61 hours to go. Remember I said time was running out? Well, guess what? TikTok guys, they have funded, they have unlocked everything but the 3,500. They have added 3 pages. 3 pages of story. That's crazy. I don't know. Oh, that's more art from Chris Mad. That's amazing. I can't wait to see what the 3,500 is. I think Danielle might be waiting, because sometimes you have people drop out. And I mean, you don't want to announce something just to have to take it back in a few days. But I mean, I'm so happy to see. I'm so happy to see that they've made it. Their goal was only about 3,000, so they're 1,000 over. So they're almost at 100% overfunded. So that's awesome. They're 50% overfunding. So that's awesome. Great job to them. Fantastic story. Chris Mad, fantastic artist, good friend of mine. I'm really intrigued by this. I can't wait to get it. I never got to read the first one because when we covered it, unfortunately, the first time, I was still new at doing this. I had thought I'd back this, and I wound up not backing it because I didn't realize that there was another step in the early days. So I'm very happy to be able to change that. Look at that alternative cover. Oh, that's so amazing. Amazing and creepy, man. Amazing and creepy. And I look forward to reading the book. Speaking of the threat of being scared, I don't know. I don't get this one. I really don't get this one. There's been no traction. We've been covering it. It's a fantastic story. This isn't even the first book, and I just don't get it. I'm kind of frustrated by it, and I don't know. I mean, it's 8 days to go. Anyone watching this video, you tell me how I can make this more interesting and build an audience for this, because I feel like this isn't going anywhere, and that's frustrating to me. And I really do enjoy the project. I know it says back this project for me, and I've got to work on that because I did back it, and I got to see what happened. There was probably something I backed during one of these videos and forgot to finish. But I mean, it looks like a fantastic story, and we're just going to take a minute and take a look at it. And I mean, it's only a 56-second video, but I mean, it's pretty badass. I mean, I don't get it, guys. I don't get why some Kickstarters get something of a wild reception and get back beyond their goals for stories, and stories like this that I think really do have a voice in our modern culture for possibly what we are seeing come to be, don't get the support. And, you know, I wouldn't say as much as I'm angry with anyone for not backing it, but I am disappointed to see this skipped over in Kickstarter. Especially with everything that we're talking about with politics and how corporations are getting away with shit. I mean, where's the energy to watch what could become a reality? I mean, this is a comic book today, but I wrote about something last week where I had made a story almost, no, more than 6 months ago. I believe I wrote a story back in December. It was November, December, I wrote this story, and it's part of an anthology, and the anthology slowed, and it hasn't come to bear fruits like I would have liked it, to put it mildly. It's mostly because most of the people involved in the project are super busy. And that's what happens a lot with anthologies, unfortunately. Everyone in the project, because especially when you get the right mix of people, they're all so busy that certain things, I think, get put to the side, and things don't necessarily get, I wouldn't say taken seriously, because that's not it. I don't believe for one second that no one's taking it seriously, but it's not materializing like we would want it. Either way, that happens. So so now I'm left with this story that just came true. I made this a hypothesis story, and as I did, something in real life came to be. And the thing that came to be winds up making me wonder if my story is as relevant as once was. Most of the people I talked about it reassured me that, hey, you know, if anything, it shows it's more relevant now to talk about the importance of it, and that is true. But I mean, I wrote Dark Justice, though, and we were talking about this a few minutes ago, that was very similar to this, and people who read it kind of got confused by it. And I don't know if that's part of this, and they got confused by it because I almost think like we're at a point where we hear so much negativity about corporations and all that. I'm not sure if this is this no longer like an avenue of escape that people want. I mean, it used to be something that was very popular, and I don't know if it is. For Dark Justice, I know I've had issues getting support behind that, where Gothic Blue seems to be having a little more traction. Sorry about the interruption. Someone called. I have no idea who either. It's not even in my my time zone, my area code. I don't know. I don't understand why something like this is not getting the love it deserves, in my opinion. I don't get it. I mean, if anything, let me know what about this project, and we're going to go off the screen now. What about this project hasn't gotten you guys excited? What? Because I do want to know that in general as you guys watch these videos, and you can inbox me. You can always send it to me directly. Send me an email, creatorsofwrittensins@yahoo.com, and tell me privately if you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If there's something I'm missing when it comes to things like this, because I mean, the art is there, the storytelling seems to be there, the quality seems to be there. This is something that I actually am kind of at a loss. I know Ray Dillon's been around. I know Mark Schmidt's a great guy. He's been on our show. William Anderson, I've heard his name a bunch of times already. I don't know if I actually know Vince Kutcher. I don't know if I really know him, but I mean, I don't get it, guys. I really don't get it. I don't understand how some of these Kickstarters get left on the wayside. And every time I see something like this, it leaves me shaking my head like, why? Why this one? Why is this one not grabbing the attention? I kind of want to know, to learn, and maybe even help people to avoid. Maybe it's something in the campaign. Maybe something's not clear to you guys. That's why I'm asking for you guys to give me the feedback, because it's got 8 days. Maybe we could make something good happen here. If you guys give us the feedback, maybe there's a question you don't know, and I can ask the creative team, and they can answer that question, and maybe that can get you excited to back it. I'm trying here. Wendell's got 5 days to go, more than funded. He's going to protect his neighborhood. And apparently, even though he's just mostly trying to stop kids from loitering and drinking on the apartment complex and tagging walls, he seems to be running into a bigger problem as ninjas have invaded his home turf. So what's going to happen when Wendell faces some real baddies? Tune into Wendell to find out by backing this. I think there was actually a video, but I know we're running long. I'm a little slow today. So, I mean, it's very funded. So definitely give it a look. Check it out. But because of the time constraint on the show, and I know I don't want to, my son's going to wake up soon, so I got to address him, and my back's hurting. So we're going to wish this the best of luck. I think it's doing great. I don't know how much help it really needs from us because I want to focus on projects that might need our help a little bit more. Grande is one of those that is already funded. It's got a great story. If you like World of Warcraft, this is definitely going to be something for you to pick up. It's got a great video. I definitely suggest you watch it. It's got great art. But once again, we're running a little long on the program. So we're going to move on. That deep breath's just about pain. I do apologize that if I don't sound as usually I sound more energetic, and I'm sorry if my voice seems a little off. Just then, I had mentioned this on YouTube. I mean, on the Facebook before. Pre-show that we usually have on Facebook. I'm in a lot of pain today. And I have the stimulator going I mentioned earlier in the video, so don't take the tone of my voice as anything for anything today. Just trying to get through the list to make sure you guys all know what to back, so bear with me, and I appreciate your patience. The night 2, couldn't talk nicer about this, and while it is just about to fund with 13 days to go, this is another one that I think you guys are missing out on, and I definitely think you guys should be watching the video. We have 13 days for this one, and it's so close that I mean, sometimes I also like to see who's backing it. And when I see like someone like Bob Sally backing this, that means something. That holds some credit to me. And I remember I talked about who backs it matters, and you can just go over here. I think that if you go, see, you can actually see everyone or your friends who are backing this. And Brian Hawkins is backing it. When you start seeing your friends and you trust your friends, you know what your friends are doing, you see what they're backing, that kind of gives you an idea of the right road, what's good and what's not good. So, sometimes that's a good way to see it. If I see none of my friends have backed something, sometimes that makes me nervous. Sometimes it makes me feel like I don't know something, and it makes me nervous. So when I see good friends of mine who are great creators backing something, it doesn't make it hard to back that project. And mind you, I already read the book, both of them, and I still am a backer. We go back to the dollar, and one of the things I want to talk about with the dollar that matters is that $1 matters. See, in a campaign like this especially, where you're talking about $75 now, that's not a lot of money to raise. I mean, you're literally talking about one T-shirt thing away. But what also $1 can really help is bring up this number right here, 31. 31, I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't sound impressive because it's still 31 people who believe in an idea. And that's pretty damn cool. But it's not a number that grab you. I think any number under 100 or not close to 100 leaves people a little bit apprehensive about the creation. So I think that's also what's important with our dollar. Our dollar and a dollar really matters and how it creates worlds. I think that's where it comes in handy, something like that. Because, I mean, literally, if we go into the night right now and we look at it and we go down, ooh, I went way too fast. And we go down and we find right here, if one person backs this, right, and gets this, right there, that's already going to fund it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only going to take that to fund it. So keep that in mind, that not necessarily does that dollar always just help the financial, but it helps this number, which can help when you have someone who, it'll help when you have someone who doesn't have as many backers, that $1 can really, pump up the gym, as they used to say back in the day, and make it seem like more people are behind it. And that's important. It really is. Italiano, so close to getting funded, $8,221. We want to see this go over. This is a passion project. Italiano is not for kids, though. It contains frequent crude humor, generous amounts of profanity, graphic violence, and all the other impermeable stuff that make a great adult book. Stinky Joe Elbow, Bino Rape Biggs, Jess the Peach, Benny Busciolini, Mario Italiano, and all the other gangs. This is we watched the video in full, and this was awesome because the creator talks about how long he's been creating this world and focusing on this world and bringing this world to life. And I was very impressed by it. And he just rang with passion with it. And the art's pretty cool. I think it'll be funny. I swear that looks like Donald Trump. I'm not sure if it's meant to be, but that does look like Donald Trump a little bit. Except he's got big hands. It looks cool. It really does. And this is something that you can see people are getting behind. Remember we talked about that number just a minute ago. We were talking about how many people back a project. Scrolling up. 109 people. That sounds impressive, doesn't it? You say 109 people, you're like, wow, that's a good amount of people. You should think of 100 people in a room. And that's pretty big, wouldn't you agree? But if you just donate $1, and there's like 10 of you who watch this video, just donate $1. You take that number from 109 to 119. It's almost 120, close to 125. By the time this is funded, you could have as much as 150 if people just took giving $1 because they like the idea. That's right. Give a person $1 because you like an idea. How hard is that? You'll spend how much extra for whatever cocoa, mocha, unicorn drink from Starbucks. You'll get those fidget things that people are carrying around and talking about how it's for their social anxiety. We waste money everywhere. You don't waste the money when you invest in a creator. You invest in a creative future when you do that. So this is one of those projects that probably could be very well next week's pick of the week. Year of the Goat, Tom Spellman, fantastic creator, does not need my help. We put this on our list just because Tom's awesome. When I found out about it, you go back, you look at all the issues that he's been part of, all the things he's brought you. Goats have been made scary. You never thought they could be scary until a Year of the Goat. And you see all the alternative covers. It's a very, the Harley Goat is pretty cool. You get the action figures. How cool is that? I love it when a creator makes their own action figures. I just think it's awesome. So, if you're a fan of Tom Spellman, and you should be, if you're a fan of the Year of the Goat and you didn't hear about it somehow, here it is now. I hope Tom keeps going. Fantastic creator, creative mind. Sorry, more pain. Just give me a second. I have to move. And while I'm doing that, I'll play the video of the next thing, Fight of the Century. You gotta hate it when you put something on and hope there's some sort of sound and there's nothing. There we go.
In the not-so-distant future, Rexco presents Everything will be settled in the ring. Do it. Butter. From the writers of BAM and C-listers. And from the artist of G.I. Joe versus Cobra. Fight of the century. This comic book is not yet rated.
How cool is that, guys? I don't think I can do better than that. But I do know that they need more support. They have 52 days to go. Never sure why anyone would want a longer Kickstarter. I think 30 days is torture enough. If I thought I could fund a Kickstarter in 10 days, I'd go with 10 days personally. Sorry. Fight of the Century. The Power Company. Let's watch Power Company video, because this is really cool. Now notice how many comic book companies are behind it. Look at that long list of creators here. So, I mean, how awesome was that? All these creators are coming together, building up something that's fantastic. How can you go wrong backing this? Speaking of backing it, I actually have to back it. I mean, it does look, the art's there. Fantastic group. I mean, I'm excited to be part of it. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be part of it. We have 59 more days to talk about, so we'll be talking about it more. Toothbill, too. We're going to watch the video. Now, Kim Roberts is a fantastic storyteller. She's the writer behind it. As I said, I just got issue 1. Well, I don't know when I got it because it was on my pile of Kickstarter rewards. I actually looked at my Kickstarter rewards digitals, and I realized how many books I haven't read yet because I always get asked to do reviews. I don't always get to read what I want to read. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying some of those things get put behind. So that's why a lot of times I get the physical copies. And for Kim Roberts, I always want to back her. I have to actually back this project, but you can see it's already going to crush its goal. It's already going to be there with 13 days to go. Fantastic creator. I can't wait till I see a big anthology of just all of her work come together. Here is the newest comic book that I don't know a lot about, but I was quickly reading some of the stuff about it, so I'm actually going to watch it with you guys, and we're going to experience this together. Looks like a very interesting comic book. I mean, sometimes different is always better than the same. And I think in a situation like this, we're seeing something very different. I don't know what's causing her bad day. I wish there's just a little bit more about it in that regards to the teaser. But I mean, it does look like a cool concept. And like they said, not every comic book's supposed to be, you know, superheroes and funny, and you know, sometimes you're just supposed to enjoy a story being told, and comic books are a great way to tell a story, and I do agree with them completely in that regard. Killer Beez is on our list. Let's take a look.
Yes, sir, this is B. Brian Blair, and I want you to feel the sting, and I want you to catch the buzz. And I'm talking about our new Kickstarter program for the new comic book series, The Killer Beez. Join our Kickstarter program. Get involved in our Kickstarter program. I appreciate you. Thank you for all you've done for me, and I ask you and beg you to please jump on board and help us out.
The Killer Beez are one of the most popular tag teams in professional wrestling history, comprised of the Hiro Matsuda-trained B. Brian Blair and the two-time AWA World Tag Team Champion, Jumping Jim Brunzell. The Killer Beez took the wrestling industry by storm in the mid-1980s, leaping to the top of the tag team ranks with their high-flying maneuvers and masked confusion gimmick. They reached the pinnacle of stardom by capturing the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship in the 1990s. And now, in the Killer Beez comic, you'll learn the storied histories of both B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell, as revealed in personal interviews between each and wrestling historian and Squared Circle writer John Crowther. The entire series is expertly illustrated by comics and animation legend Del Barris, with colors by Andrew Pate. This is the same amazing creative team behind Nikolai, the comic biography of the legendary Nikolai Volkov. Your pledge to support printing and distribution of the Killer Beez comic provides you a variety of reward options. Select from digital and print editions of the comic, including multiple cover variants, some exclusive to the campaign. B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell are offering up autographed 11x17 art prints, photos, trading cards, action figures, and DVDs, plus signature editions of the comic. There are also extremely limited original art commissions from Del Barris and opportunities to appear in the Killer Beez 2 as either a ringside fan or even as a wrestler. Don't miss out on these limited exclusives. Back early to ensure you get the rewards you want.
How cool would that be? I could finally be a wrestler. Be in a comic book, but I'd be a wrestler. Definitely something cool. We saw this, the book of the thread. We're going to take a quick another look at it. It's only a 3-minute video.
In celebration of the
Awesome
30th
video.
anniversary of the cult classic, Evil Dead 2. Source Point Press and Studio Canal are proud to present to you Evil Dead 2, the Book of the Thread. The Book of the Thread is taking an old school art form in the craft world, cross-stitch, and making it groovier than ever before. Renowned horror stitcher Rebecca Marks Burley really delivers with this incredible collection, featuring over 20 designs, all officially licensed Evil Dead 2 patterns that you can use to create artwork or adorn and customize items in your home. Think cross stitches for old ladies? And we brought an old lady of our own to tell you, think again. Henrietta, correction, Deadite Henrietta, guides you through the process and gives you expert tips and tricks along the way to create some of the most badass cross-stitch art you've ever seen. Never done cross-stitch before? No problem. Henrietta teaches you everything you need to know. And we think you should listen to it. Or otherwise.
I'm going to leave it at the threat. Or otherwise. So you better back it. We have the night number 2. Well, obviously it's here already. The video was clearly made before, but it's still a kick-ass video. So close to funding. We saw this earlier because of the crossover. Just took a look at the video. We talked about it, so I think we're good. And let's check out what the 90s look like. Those of you old like me.
It was a strange place to meet a girl for sure.
Trip back.
I don't even know why we started talking. The only friend we had in common was laying in a coffin a few feet in front of us at the time. I guess shit like that brings people together.
Blister is the story of these two punk rock kids named Blister and Harvey. Blister's somewhere along the lines of Holden Caulfield sort of character. He just doesn't really take any garbage. He's kind of a smartass. He knows it all, and he'll call you on your bullshit. The story revolves around Blister and his relationship with Harvey.
Harv wouldn't leave me alone about it the next day. So how'd it go, Blister? Second base at least? Nobody says that shit anymore, Harv. Grow up. Harv was perpetually a 5th grader.
Harvey's a little more serious about the future of the band, where Harvey has a singular focus on just promoting the band and making the band stronger. Blister's got other things going on.
I was on stage playing a song I wrote for another girl to impress this new girl in a concert I didn't want to play with this asshole I hated, and that fucker was making out with the girl I was trying to impress. That shit was whack.
Blister's a punk rock band, so punk rock plays into the story pretty heavily. It's not like a punk rock 101, though. It's more about the attitude of the characters.
It's like this when you're a punk. Don't get me wrong, the group is one of the most inclusive out there. But at the same time, fuck everybody. Fuck the establishment. Fuck the cops. Fuck the president. Fuck the mailman. Fuck the village board. Fuck the guy who paints the yellow lines in the parking lot. And if your best friend is being a dick, fuck him too.
Yeah, fuck them. And fuck not backing this. Get on the shit. That's been the show this week. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry the energy was a little lower this week. I promise I'll be better next week, hopefully, God willing. The back won't be in so much pain. You guys are always great. Thank you to the sinners, the fans and creators that watch and tune in weekly. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We'll catch you.